Hey, what's going on, everybody? I hope you're having a great day today. I know I had a good day. It's beautiful and sunny now. The only bad thing is, and I'll apologize if I sniffle a little bit, with the nice weather comes the allergies, and man, mine are killing me. But that being said, I have been goofing around with something over the past couple days, and I just kind of wanted to show it off. If you've watched my channel for any period of time, you know that I am a sucker for window managers. I love messing around with them. You know, there's a couple that I live in, but I just love to install them, mess around with the configuration files, just see what makes them tick. See what kind of extra stuff there is in them, and yeah, so I actually found this. I came across it. I don't remember how. I was just kind of Googling around for some stuff, and this one popped up. It was like meant to be or something. But looking at my screen right now, this is it. It looks a lot like DWM, bar-wise and everything, and that's mainly because I'm using, as a status bar, I'm using dwmblocks. So this stuff over here, this is just my dwmblocks script, and so let's actually go to the GitHub page for this project and take a look at it. So if we switch to workspace number 2 here, you can see we're at github.com and we are at Avahi Kellenberger. I really hope I'm saying that right. If I'm not, I apologize, dude. Odds are you're not going to see this video anyway, but hey, I apologize if I screwed your name up. But it's github.com/Avahi Kellenberger, and then the window manager is called nimdow. Now, that being said, this window manager is written with the Nim programming language, so I understand where he came up with his name, but I don't know about that name. Not the greatest name, but hey, the name does not speak for the window manager, because this thing is actually pretty cool. It's really simple, it's really basic, but it does a lot of stuff. I mean, it does all the stuff that any of your big name window managers do. And if we actually scroll down here, actually let's go to the main page here. If we actually scroll down here, it says here it's a window manager written in Nim, but it has a note that says nimdow is in beta but is very usable. Please report any bugs you may find. Okay, so first off, I'm going to say for a beta, this thing is awesome. I have literally not had one single problem with anything that I've been doing. That does not mean there's not any bugs out there, no. But for me personally, I haven't come across any. That being said, if you use this, if you see this video and decide you want to check it out, let's get this guy's project up and going big time. This is a cool window manager. Let's show it some love. Use it, and if you find any bugs, man, report it so he can get them squared away and get this thing rolling. It is a great window manager. He's using it to learn Nim and X11 and to replace DWM. I'm not looking to replace anything, but I'm in the same boat as this guy. I'm trying to learn C++. That has to do with my degree, but I'm learning C++, and I'm going to try and learn a lot of that by building a window manager. If you've watched my videos, you know that's my long-term project. I'm working on it, but this guy and I are kind of in the same boat on that. So we got the table of contents down here. We got some screenshots, the installation, the config file. I'm just going to briefly touch on this. Again, it's github.com, Avahi Kellenberger, nimdow. So if you want to check it out and get into it a little bit deeper, go ahead and go over to that GitHub page and check it out. First, we'll go with some screenshots. You can see it's a really sleek, really clean looking window manager. It's really, like I said, DWM-esque in the way it works. The way it looks. You've got the tags up here that when you first install it, it's just going to have numbers 1 through 9 up here, but it's got the little square boxes that up here in the corner like DWM does, and it's got no status over here like DWM does. But the way you go about setting your bar is real similar to DWM. Like I said, I'm using dwmblocks in my auto start file. You can use xsetRoot to put stuff over here, so it's real similar to how DWM works with the bar. That being said, we've got some nice screenshots here, and as far as installation goes, you can either build it from source, which is one option. I attempted to do this on my Void machine, but Nim is hanging me up. I couldn't build it on Void because for some reason it's installing the wrong package of Nim and it won't build anything. So I'm going to try and figure that out. But until I do, I had to do this on my test machine. This is my Arco Linux build on my test laptop. which again with Arch you can use the AUR right here, and you just install nimdow-bin. So yay or paru or whatever you're using, just install nimdow-bin, and then your default configuration file is stored at user shared nimdow config.default.toml. So it's going to look for that config file in 3 locations. Once you boot up, it's going to look for it in your home nimdow.config.toml or home.config nimdow config.toml. I don't know how much more I can say that name. Sorry, man. I apologize. I'm not really trying to rag on the name, but it's just not a great name. And then or user share nimdow config default.toml. So when you first log into it, you're just going to have, like I said, black screen. You're going to have the numbers up here as opposed to the icons like I have, and you're going to have some basic key bindings, and that'll all be found in that user share nimdow config.default.toml. You can do some command line arguments. Like I said, the status bar right here, it displays the available tags are on the top left. The focused window title is in the center right here. The status is set by the user on the right. So from the get-go, you'll have numbers and you'll have the window title. You will not have any of this other stuff. Setting the status, you can go to the wiki and it'll talk about it. We'll go over to the wiki here in a second. Emojis, it has some issues with emojis not showing up, so there's a fork of XFT that is a fix for emojis. So it's the libxft bgra-git, really similar to the DWM issue. If you want a DWM DWM to have emojis in the status bar, it's the same thing you'd have to install there. So a lot of similarities with this in DWM so far. There's a couple issues there with Java applications, and there's a roadmap here and testing locally for development. So again, just some stuff you can go over on your own if you want. Let's go ahead and go back to Workspace 1 here real quick before I show you the config files. And I mean, you can see it's real, like I said, similar to DWM in the way it looks. But if we go ahead and launch some windows here, so we're going to do Alt, Shift, and Enter is going to launch a terminal. And then we're going to launch another one, and then we're going to launch another one, and another one, and another one, and you can see we've got the master and stack set up for the layout. It's really kind of cool. I haven't gotten into this too deep, so I don't know if there's a way to change to different layouts or not, but if I'm being completely honest, this is really the only layout I ever use anyway, so you can toggle these. So let's go ahead and close some of these up. Like this, you can toggle to full screen by using mod F. We'll toggle full screen and cover that bar. Mod space, we'll toggle it to floating. So that's floating, that's not floating, that's floating. You can see the bar around it, and if I could drag that window around if I want. And so you have all that. It's real simple. So let's go ahead and launch a browser here. If I do mod J and K will switch back and forth between the windows. Mod Shift J and K will switch the window spots. We'll swap the windows around. And then mod H will grow the master window, and mod L will shrink the master window. So you can see mod, I use Alt as my mod key. When you first log into this, though, it will be set to super, but I am not a super key user, so I went in and changed it in my config to the Alt key. But you have the same basic stuff that most window managers have. Resizing windows, moving windows, obviously 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are going to change between the windows and the workspaces. I mean, and like I said, you can switch from floating and full screen and all that stuff. The other thing you can do I wanted to show you is if we say we have the stack going here. So we've got our master on the left side here, and then we got the stack over here. Well, if you use mod Z, it will increase the number of windows allowed on the master side, and mod X will decrease the number of windows allowed on the master side. So say you want 2 windows on the master side, you can press mod Z, and then you can it'll just give you 2 over there, and then it'll launch the rest in the stack. So you can adjust that to whatever you want, however many master windows you want, or however many windows you want open on the master side. That's all up to you. And this is all can be changed with a key binding, or I'll show you in the actual config file where you can set that as a set number and then change it as you want throughout using your system. So let's go over here and let's go to the config file real quick. It's real basic. Like I said, I already told you where it looks for it in those 3 locations. And then we've got the status bar. Let's talk about, let's go to the wiki page real quick. and we will go down to, no, I don't want the CLI commands. Sorry, let's go back here. And we're back on the home page, right? Okay, so let's go to, we've got config. There we go. See the wiki for information about the specifics of the configuration file. So we're in the user configuration file now. We got a table of contents, so setting table, controls table, auto starting programs. So basically, if you come down and go through here, it really breaks everything down for you nicely. The settings table is used to define the default values, and so as you look at I'll go over the configuration file here in a minute, but you have all these, you have gap size and border width and border color focused, border color unfocused, bar height, urgent border color, so you've got all the basic stuff, bar fonts, bar urgent color. Excuse me, like I said, my allergies are really kicking my butt today. You have bar height, window title position, all this stuff. The controls table defines the key bindings that control the window manager. So you've got like reload the configuration file, so when you make any changes you can reload it on the fly. Mod shift, I have mod shift R or mod control R will reload the file. You can move focus to previous or the next window, you can move to the previous or next window, you can toggle full screen, you can destroy the selected window. This is all the same stuff, go left tag, go right tag, toggle view, toggle window tag, focus to the next monitor, move window to the next monitor, move window to the previous monitor, increase the master count, decrease the master count, jump to urgent, toggle floating. So there's all different kinds of stuff you can do here. Now auto starting programs, there's a section in there, a table for auto starting. You see right here, and you can put everything in there, or you can do like I did and create an auto start file and then just call that auto start file here, and then that loads everything for you from that auto start file. Starting external processes with key bindings is basically you've got the start process, and then you have the command you want to run. Like this is example is command dmenu_run, and then you put the key in square brackets in parentheses, so you got the key P, and the modifier is super. So setting up the key bindings on this is extremely simple. It's just basically what do you want to run, what key do you want to press, what modifier do you want to use. You can do application rules. So an application like this shows the application of Vivaldi. Now it says class and instance. So what we're going to do is to find your class and instance, let's launch another window here, and we're going to run the xprop command, and then you'll get this little plus or this crosshair. Just click on the window you want, and if you come down here it gives you all this information. So on this it says class and instance. Well, if you look for window manager wm-class, sorry, my throat is killing me right now. You can see right here, wm_class, it says Brave browser, Brave browser. Well, one of them's capital, one of them's not. The first one is the class, so that's going to be in your first line here, and then the second one is the instance. So you'd put the lowercase Brave browser here, and then you'd put the capital Brave browser here. And then you could have a title, like window manager title. Well, this would be window manager name on this. I don't know if, oh yeah, right there, user configuration file. So you'd put the name right there, so you just look for window manager name would go under title. You can choose what monitor you want it to run on, and you can choose what tags you want it to run on. So this one says 1, 4, and 7, so when you launch this it will be on tag 1, 4, and 7. So that way if you're switching between some tags, doing some other stuff, you can keep that one window with you no matter where you're going. So once you do that, you can also set the state of it to floating or normal. This works well for doing like scratch pads. Like I have my scratch script that I run on a few things in this, and I'll go over that in a minute, but so that way you can launch them as floating as opposed to launching them as static windows. Our case is sensitive. They can be excluded. So these tags up here, or these entries up here, they are case sensitive and they can be excluded. Like, see, this has nothing on the title and nothing on the instance. They can be excluded, and they support the star or the glob as a prefix and or suffix. And again, this shows just using the xprop command to find the stuff you need. If wm_class has two properties, the first is the instance, the second is the class. Did I have that backwards? I believe I did. I apologize. When I said that before, I said the first one is the class and the second is the instance. Well, it's the first is the instance and the second is the class. So my mistake on that. But you can also change the tags. Like I said, these were normally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You can change them to run just regular words. So you can write out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You could put a number, a letter. You can even use an emoji. You can use icons like I'm using. You basically just go through and change this, and I'll show you that in a minute here when we go through the configuration files. And then we have monitors down here. I just have laptops, so I don't use multiple monitors, so I haven't messed around with that, but it looks pretty simple. You can change the numbers on the monitors individually, and yeah, just set the basic information. So let's go ahead and jump to the configuration file. This is the standard configuration file. This is the default one. This is, like I said, in user share nimdow config.default.toml. So this is the one you're going to copy over to your home directory. At the top here you have app rules. That's the class and instance title that you can set them to floating or set them to number tags or whatever. It's commented off in this, but when you want to add something to it, you just uncomment those and put your information in. Like I said, this is the processes. So pkill nimdow is basically going to shut it down. So you have Control-Alt-Delete for that key binding from the get-go. You can see the key binding sets up command, browser, key, I, modifier, super. So it's really simple to set up key bindings, like I was saying. They've got their auto start set up right here. It shows xset root, cursor name, left pointer, so that sets up your cursor for you. But it also has commented Firefox and ST. That's just kind of showing you how you could set them up that way. Again, I have, if we go over here, I have a .config nimdow autostart.sh. And you can see that I start my wallpaper and my dwmblocks in that, and I actually call it from my config file. So that's how I do my auto start. So I have my path to my auto start file right here as opposed to any other stuff. You have your settings here. Your border width is equal to 1. Your border focused, unfocused, and urgent colors right here. Again, you can change those to whatever colors you'd like. The bar height, you can adjust the bar height. It's set to 20 pixels. The window title position is set to center, so it's normally centered over here. You can see mine's off to the left. I'll show you that in just a few minutes. All you would do is change that to the left. You can change your bar background color, foreground color, selection color, and urgent color. You can have two sets of fonts in there. You have monospace from the get-go, and you have nimdow color emoji. I have mine changed as well. I'll show you those in a minute. You basically have all your gap right here, gap size at 12, resize step at 10. So when you resize windows, it'll do 10 pixels at a time. You can change logging enabled and reverse tag scrolling to true if you'd like. We've got basic window manager controls, move windows to previous to next, toggle full screen, destroy selected window, go to previous tag, move to previous tag, focus previous monitor, move to previous monitor, increase the master count, decrease the master count. All this stuff I went over on the GitHub page. You have your controls to move to different tags. Obviously, super 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 out of the box. Again, I changed mine to Alt, but same as any other window manager. Moving is super shift 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, so you can move a window to whatever tag by doing that. And then increasing master width, decreasing master width, again super H and super L will do that for you, or Alt. And then down here is where you would change your default tags. This is monitor-default or .default.tags, and it shows 1 and foobar. And basically you uncomment this and add 9 lines here, and then put each one how you want it. And I'll go over that in my config file in just a second here. And that's pretty much it. So let's jump over to my config file real quick, and let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit. And you can see I've got an app rule set up for Kitty and launch, so that's my launch script. So if I do mod shift D, it's doing some weird stuff right now on this, but you can see I can just toggle it on and off. So that's launch. I've got my scratch pad, so mod enter is my scratch pad, so it comes up and then goes away and then comes up and then goes away. So I've got that set up, and I basically have those set through, I have an app rule here, so this is the rule that it makes when it calls them, and then down here I will have my key binding form. So I have Alt-Shift-C to kill nimdow, to basically log out and close it. I have Alt-Shift-B to open my browser, which is Brave. And right here I have Alt-Shift-D scratch launch. And so you can see I'm running my scratch script. If you watched my video from a week or so ago about window manager agnostic scratch pads, that's my script I wrote, and then launch. And so if we go back up here, one of my rules was right here, my app rule launch is for a floating window, so that way when I launch that script as a scratch pad, it floats and it's not bound to one section of the screen. So then I have regular kitty, Alt-Shift-Return launches my terminal, and you can see right here my auto start. It's set root for the cursor, and then it calls my home.config nimdow autostart.sh, and that was this file right here where I call my script or my status bar, and I call my wallpaper. So anything I want to add to auto start, I just add it to that file, and it will automatically call it from here. Then I have my settings. My border width is still set to 1. My unfocused color is a dark gray color. My focused border color is still the green. So if I launch another window, you can see it's got that kind of green color around it. I just thought that looked nice with the wallpaper I have here. My bar selection, or my border urgent color is F5555. I believe that's a red color. I'm not sure, but I believe so. I left my bar height at 20. I did move my window title position. Normally that's center, and that's over here more. I did move it to the left, so it's over here. My bar background color is black because I just like the looks of it not having, not really being able to tell that there's a separation there. My bar foreground color is the F8, F8, F2, which is kind of this almost white color, and then I have my bar selection color is this blue that I really like. You might have noticed I use it on almost all my configs right now. And then you have red for the bar urgent color. My fonts are IBM Plex Mono. I thought that kind of looked neat, so I just stuck that on there for now, and I use Font Awesome for my icons over here and over here. I have my gap set to 18, and the resize set is still set to 10. And then basically the controls down here are all the same as what I just showed you on the factory config. The only thing I changed is I changed from super to alt. So those are all the same, so we don't really need to go over those. Right here is where I did my tags. You can see if you uncomment that monitors line and the monitors.default.tags, and then I have 9 lines here, and then I have display string equals, and then each one of these is one of my tags. You can see Firefox is number 1, the terminal is number 2, the Git branch is number 3. So as you see, you can change them all, and like I said, you could put a word here, you could put a number here, you could put an emoji here, and that's what you will have for tags. So it is pretty cool that you can change it and have your tags whatever you want, basically. And then we have down here the monitors. Again, I don't mess with monitors, so somebody else will have to check that out for you. But that's pretty much it. The only other thing I wanted to go over is how you can see I've got a red icon, or red Font Awesome icon right here. You can change these to whatever color you want. Basically, the way I did that with dwmblocks is, let's go over here, and you can see I'm running dwmblocks. So let's go to number 1, and let's open a terminal. Let's clear the screen. Let's zoom in. And let's cd to .local and hit enter, and then do an ls, and you can see I've got dmblocks running right here. So let's cd into dwmblocks. So let's cd in there, and we're going to do an ls, and then we're going to do a vim into our blocks.h. And if you look, you can see I've got right here is going to basically be normally where your icon would be. Not all of them have the icon there because a lot of the icons are included in my scripts that I call, like my volume script, my battery script, my weather script. These are all called, my weather script is weirding out right now. It doesn't show up a lot of the time for some reason. It'll just randomly show up and not show up. Anyway, that's just a thing for another day. But then if you go down here, you can see in between the double quotes, like right here, but on this one I have my calendar icon. And I have that set with my clock script, but basically you just do the escape code for the ASCII colors right here, or the colors here, and it will change that icon to that color. So that basically escape, and then the 31 is red. So it's going to change that to red, and then you escape again and put it back to 0, which is going to bring it back to the normal color that it was. So, you can change that. You can do the writing one color and the icons another color. You can do everything one color. You can just kind of do a rainbow across there. You could do whatever you want to on that, changing color wise. And that's how I would do it with dwmblocks. I don't know if I don't know if this will use SL status or not. I don't know if it uses polybar very well or not, because it does come with this already out of the box. So I'm not sure how that works. I haven't dug into that too much. But yeah, that being said, that is it. So again, come over to this GitHub page, check out this guy's work, check out this project. It is a great little project. Let's keep it going. Give this guy some love. Go over here and go ahead and read the information on it. Check out the config files. And yeah, if you like window managers like I do, even if you don't want to switch your window manager, I enjoy playing around in them and seeing how they work and checking out config files and just kind of seeing how the different people do things and different window managers do things. So that being said, if you like this and you want to try it out, man, by all means, I highly recommend it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and maybe go check it out and give this guy's project some love. All right, you guys have a great rest of your day. Weekend's coming. Use it to rest. Do whatever you got to do, rejuvenate, and man, God bless.